with Jake and Fulton, coming to you on a 5-game winning streak victory Thursday. Break up the Royals, baby. 5 in a row, and they are the betting favorite today, going for
as they
6
should be
in a row. Fulton.
This is awesome.
Fulton, tell me.
This is great.
Tell me, what did I say on Tuesday? How long will this winning streak go till?
You made a comment.
No, that's not what I said.
I mean, I remember you making a comment about 7, but I think you said it's just going to get to 5.
It's going to get to 5.
You did say it was going to get to 5, and it did. They won 5. They have, for the first time this season, won back-to-back series. Jake, I ask you this question real quick. When was the last time the Royals won 5 game row in a season?
Never happened.
Well, they have won 5 in a row in a season before.
First time ever.
That's patently incorrect. But do you know the last season in which they won 5 in a row?
Last season? Not this year. Last year.
No. They did not win 5 in a row all of last season.
They didn't?
You have to go back to 2021 when they won 5 in a row twice during that season.
They only won 4 in a row last year.
They did not win 5 in a row last season. Didn't happen.
Look at the Royals. Look
Didn't
at
happen.
Go.
Not once.
Look at them go. Look at them go.
With a real chance to make it 6.
Hopefully you've hopped on the Royals money train, because I certainly have these last 3 games. Getting some great value on the boys in blue.
I feel bad for every person that's been just like, I'm going to bet against the Royals every game, see a couple of wins. No, it's fine. It'll correct itself. It's been a bad 5 games for you.
No, you got to. You should never just do it. You got to see how the vibes, what's going down.
The vibes are immaculate in this clubhouse.
They're feeling different, man. They're
Cole Reagan's rules.
He's not only is he a NASCAR driver, he's a hell of a pitcher too. And maybe, and this is why you trade people.
Yeah.
Why is Cole Reagan's on the Royals?
Because you traded Aroldis Chapman.
There you go. There you go. How about that? We got
awesome.
Not a lot of time right now.
No, not. It's day game today.
Royals in action coming up, bottom of the hour pregame coverage. We've got first pitch at 1:10 with the Royals going 5 in a row, trying to go for 6. Brady Singer on the bump. He's been pretty good his last 3 starts. 4 earned runs, but that was in the 8th inning. The Royals had a big lead.
That was 7 shutout innings.
Yeah.
More importantly, in his last 2 starts, 19 strikeouts.
Yes. And Carlos Carrasco is going for the Mets, and he stinks.
Do you know how many earned runs Carlos Carrasco has given up his last 2 starts? I dig this digging
16.
last night. It's not that bad. It's only 11 in 4 2/3 innings. He has not made it out of the 3rd in his last 2 starts.
Here's the thing about this. Only Salvador Perez has faced Carrasco. Normally, when the Royals see somebody they haven't seen in a while.
Would you like me to give you a counterpoint?
Not great.
Would you like me to give you a counterpoint? Last night, Kodai Senga. This is his first year in stateside. They'd never seen Kodai Senga before. And they touched him up for 11 hits.
Yeah, they should have been more.
Should have been more runs, but Kodai Senga's a little bit. They touched him up.
Right now, things are going
Just saying.
well. Things are going. We're going to give away some Royals tickets today.
We did say we would.
Well,
we said we're not. We said we're not going to stop until they lose.
No, can't stop, won't stop.
This is fun. I mean, the Royals
can't
are fun
stop,
this
won't
year.
Stop Kansas City Royals, because they get down. They get down. There we go.
Did you think at any point this year we'd have a good time talking about the Royals?
Yes, of course.
Given the way the season unfolded. Really? You really thought in your heart of hearts at some point we would enjoy ourselves talking about this season?
Well, yeah, before the season started.
Well, I mean, as the season, like, I'm talking like
I need a date.
during
Give
the
me
year.
A date.
Like, you know what? Also, June. At any point in the month of June, did you think you were going to have a fun point?
No.
Okay. In May, did you at any point think we're going to have a fun day talking about this team?
I thought May they might turn it around a little bit.
But yeah, so essentially the past near 2 months, you were like, it's never going to be fun talking about this team. It's really fun right now.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's great. The vibes, man.
Go team.
They're sweet.
Little Chiefs news. Not great when it comes to some injury news for one Charles Amenahu. He's got a calf strain, which those can be kind of important. I don't know if people realize, but Joe Burrow has a calf strain. That happened while I was on vacation. And old Joey B, your boy, might not play the rest of training camp. And low key, calf injuries are kind of important in this
Mhm.
situation. Lower leg tissue injuries. A calf is just like a hamstring, okay? That's not ideal. So, Amenahu with the calf injury, we'll see about tomorrow. When he practices, we'll give an update. Andy Reid will speak tomorrow. Matt Nagy spoke today. They had the long, I remember this. This was the day that Travis Kelce dreads. Same thing that Jason Kelce, because Jason and Travis have both played for Andy Reid, obviously. It is the 16 play drive that's essentially not 2 minute, but close to it. And it is just an absolute bear. I remember listening to the New Heights podcast, and they both of them said the worst part about it is the 16 play drive down
long
the
drive.
field.
They hate long drive
and
day.
You can't stop. I remember one time Jason Kelce said, I was so tired I fell down on a screen, and they had to come like pick me up. Like, so they hated it. So that was today.
Yep, it was a long drive day.
And so that's kind of what happened today. Tershawn Wharton met with the media. Blaine Gabbert met with the media today. Fun to talk to hear from Gabbert. I think Dan's going to play a little bit of Gabbert, Nagy, and Wharton coming up in 580 Sports Talk. But it was interesting talking about Gabbert comparing Mahomes to Brady. That was kind of interesting, as well as this is a old school camp, is what Blaine Gabbert referred to it as. Going away, staying in the dorms, doing that type of thing. Tershawn Wharton, sounds like he's getting back full go. And that's a huge positive sign with what Tershawn Wharton can bring to this team. So that's kind of the latest for the Chiefs for the practice today. Still kind of the same guys who are standing out. Not a whole lot of talk about the O-line, which is good.
Is this just the classic no news is good news?
That's a good situation because the O-line is set. We know it's going to be Smith, Tooney, Creed, Trey Smith. So you got two Smiths, Donovan Smith and Trey Smith. And you got Taylor, Tooney, and then Creed. It's all set in stone. The question is, we got to wait for games. Speaking of games, there's a game tonight.
Yeah, Hall of Fame games tonight.
You watching it?
I might turn on. It's football. I need a little bit of the fix. Dan and I talked about this.
This is the first football game that's been happening since, Dan
and I talked about this. Dan apparently is not going to watch the game.
No, Dan is very anti-preseason. Dan's not a football guy. Dan is a baseball guy.
Yeah, but as I told Dan, and you got my comparison, this is just a little bit of that fix. We are, though, very also for week 0 of college football. We'll be partaking in that. But I might need this.
Those games matter.
Yeah. Preseason, though, doesn't. And the only preseason outside of the Chiefs I watch is usually a Hall of Fame game. And I only watch part of it just because I need my hit. I need my hit of football, and then I just watch the Chiefs. I will say this. I don't watch any of the preseason games. If it is not Kansas City or the Hall of Fame game, I don't touch the preseason. I don't need it that bad. I'm not Brendan. I'm not his level of Now, I am like Dan that when spring training comes around, I put those games on like a psychopath.
Yeah, but because you guys, if you would rate your sports, you're putting baseball
Dan and I are going to put
football.
baseball above everything else.
Yeah, you guys are like, Dan won't even watch an NFL game that features, the Jets and the Ravens. He won't even watch that.
That is my Sunday afternoon.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, kind of to each their own in that situation.
Yeah.
Let's get to a little college realignment news.
Stick as much news into this 20 minutes as we can. There's too much.
Pete Thamel reporting that Big Ten presidents have authorized Commissioner Tony Petitti to explore expansion. Discussions have centered on just Oregon and Washington. Now, there's a lot of discussion going on right now when it comes to what's happening. Washington is having a special Board of Regents meeting. That is going on today. Some other news of what's happening right now, according to Dan Wetzel of Yahoo Sports. He says, all eyes remain on what the University of Arizona decides, to go or stay. There's some belief that the remaining 9 Pac-12 schools could agree to a new media deal. We'll see. They could add SDSU, maybe others, and everything stops. It's not, because they're not going to get the numbers that they want by adding SDSU. The Big Ten is hesitant about offering expansion bids to Oregon and Washington unless the Pac-12 further deteriorates. The Pac-12 sticks together, Big 12 likely stays at 16 and waits. If the Big 10 does decide to expand, membership could be cut rate for multi-year periods, maybe $50 to $60 million, 50 to 60%, still equal or better than most options. The next 24 hours could be the biggest difference. That to me is something that they could 100% do. And the reason why, when Nebraska went to the Big 10, Nebraska didn't get full share until year 7.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part and what Oregon and Washington will have to consider if they do make the move.
I think that's fine. Year 7, you got to think long term here.
You do, but I guess the part you have to really consider is just, are you going to be fine in your current methods until you get full share?
Oh, yeah, they will. Yeah, because they'd make more money in the Big 10 at a 50, 60%
than what they're in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. It's just, it is a thing that they were thinking of. But no, I do agree. Long term, it's going to be beneficial.
According to Brandon Marcello, who is a 24/7 reporter at college football, he says, for Arizona State, the tenor changed Wednesday at Arizona State in a matter of 4 hours. ASU president was content with Pac-12 Apple deal. By 2 p.m., talk changed and a board meeting was being discussed for today. The undercurrent steering ships. The board wants Arizona and Arizona State to stick together. And I think that's more than likely what's going to happen, which makes it even more interesting. As most schools, and this is what Stuart Mandel points out, he says most schools that change conferences go delighted with joy. Hey, we're going to a new conference. We're excited about that. The president, Michael Crow, big Pac-12 guy.
Yes.
Big Pac-12.
One of the big Pac-12 movers and shakers and big defender of it.
He says Michael Crow will go into the Big 12 begrudgingly and basically forced to. This is and this is to me why I love Brett Yormark. This is why I love Brett Yormark. I have to state this again. All of this sucks. I can't stand it.
Yeah, we'll make it very clear. We're not pro realignment in itself. We all hate this for college sports.
I don't want the Pac-12 to disband.
I don't either. There's a lot of legacy in the Pac-12.
And I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But what Brett Yormark did is he is not affiliated with anybody. He is completely neutral. He sees it the way it is, a business. How do I do this? Guess what? Michael Crow does not see this as a business. Michael Crow has been a Pac-12 guy forever. He grew up on it. And this is a guy that has a lot of pull in the Pac-12. He does not want to leave the Pac-12. He loves the fact that it is Arizona State plays Cal, Stanford, Oregon, Washington, all that kind of stuff. He loves it. He's like me. Michael Crow's like me. I love the Big 12. I love the Big 8. This is great. But that's also now a problem for Arizona State. Like, you got to do what's best for you and not what is best for a group of schools. According to some, Utah's having a big about face, according to several reports, which is also interesting. So much might end up happening in the next 48 hours. It really, really could. It kind of sounds like Arizona State, and Utah are on the brink of joining the Big 12, which would get the Big 12 to 16. And I am all for whatever's best for KU and K-State. That is what I care about most. And to me, what's beneficial to KU and K-State, bringing in Arizona, bringing in Arizona State, bringing in Utah, get to 16. And those Arizona and Arizona State, to me, are better schools than BYU, Houston, Cincy, and UCF. They are. All three of those schools are better than the schools they're bringing in. So this, to me, benefits it. And you get more windows and more different time spots. To me, this works out. There are too many alternatives for the the Pac-12 to work. You got Oregon and Washington want out. You've got Arizona wants out. If Arizona leaves, Arizona State doesn't have to,
But they're most likely going to. It seems like the board wants them to stay together.
But let's say Arizona leaves, right? Now you got 8 schools you got
you'll be 8. They're currently at 9. So if you lose one, you're at 8.
Yeah, because you've already lost Colorado, USC, so you're at 8 schools.
Yeah.
Okay, who are you going to bring in? You can't have an 8-league team. You're going to bring in 2 more. So you bring in San Diego State. That's 9. Who else? Probably Boise. So losing Arizona and Colorado and replacing them with SDSU and Boise, what does that do? It does nothing.
It doesn't move your needle.
It does not move the needle at all. And that's why if Arizona State and Utah, that to me, if Utah leaves and Arizona leaves, then Arizona State's gone. And now the Pac-12 will cease to exist.
Yeah.
Or they'll, instead of the Mountain West, they'll invite all the Mountain West teams. There'll be a merge. I don't know what it'll be called either way. But the next 48 hours are kind of interesting. There's so many different options. Oregon and Washington will go to the Big Ten. Is that smart for the Big Ten? I don't know. Man, a lot to get to. We got a quick timeout. Coming up next, we'll give away some Royals tickets and have the mic drop. What do you got?
We didn't get to get into it too much because there's so much news to get to, but Cole Reagans was awesome last night.
Really good.
Partially because he added a new pitch. His cutter is now mainly a slider, and that happened because he communicated with the Royals staff, and Royals pitching development was proactive and did something better. That's a good sign for the future of this team.
Alrighty, you ready? I now know how good Roy Kent would have been if Roy Kent went to America.
Yeah.
The joke there on Ted Lasso was that Roy Kent said, yeah, I could go over to America and I would expletive dominate. Well, Leo Messi is expletive dominating right now. It looks like he is the varsity stud playing against like freshmen. He scored 5 goals in 3 games for Inter Miami. That dude is different.
He's so good.
He's
unreal good,
so
and
good.
it's very fun to watch happen.
This would be like if LeBron went over and played in Spain, Spain's league, or if prime Kevin Durant went over to Italy and played in the Italian league.
Just take best player at the highest level and put him at a very lower level.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Leo Messi.
He's so good.
Incredible. But that's what Roy Kent would have done.
Yeah, would have been.
Fun fact.
He told us much.
All right, caller number 5.
Let's do it.
Caller 5.
5 in a row.
A pair or a 4-pack of Royals tickets. Caller number 5. They've won 5 in a row. 272-9429. That's 272-9429. You get Royals tickets if you are caller number 5. We got Royals baseball coming up next. 580 Sports Talk to follow here on the Sports Voice of Kansas, 580 WIBW.